Welcome back, everyone. My name is Steven Rodriguez. I'm your true champion, and that is right. Your boy got second place this past weekend at the DC1 Grand Prix hosted by Top Cut Events for the Digimon TCG, and the deck that I used was LordKnightmon. Now, before I get into anything else with this video, I gotta give a huge shout out to each and every one of you that stopped by my live streams, both here on YouTube and over on Twitch for the tournament. You gave me so much support. I was really tired. I was like coming off of 2 back-to-back Yu-Gi-Oh events playing a trap deck. I was up early, had like no sleep, wasn't sure I was gonna make it through the entire thing, but thanks to y'all's energy and y'all's support, I was able to push through and get an awesome X1 finish through 8 rounds of Swiss to earn that second place spot. So thank you guys so much. Having you guys with me is like going to locals or going to big regionals with a gigantic group of friends. It's the most fun I've ever had playing TCGs. All right. Sappy stuff out the way, let's talk about what we're going to do in this video. A couple of things. Firstly, I will show you guys my deck list. Boom. There it is. Fun fact for you keen-eye viewers out there, it is the exact same LordKnightmon deck list that I used to win my store championship a few weeks ago. So if you want to know more about my individual card choices and what I think of this deck list, I'll leave a link in the iCards above as well as the description below. Be sure to check out that video. Now, if you want to continue watching this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a review of a couple of my matches that I played during my event. So that way I can show off sort of how this deck plays in this current meta against some specific matchups. Matchups that people deem difficult or more difficult than others for LordKnightmon. And given that BT5 format is lasting a little longer than we would have liked here in North America, this kind of information might just be really useful for anyone going to future store championships or bigger Digimon events until set 6 drops in hopefully November. Hopefully. With all of that said, if you guys are excited for me to get my second place finish or just for the information in this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell with notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. And I do have a question for every single person watching this video. Let me know if I should keep making videos about the current format of the Digimon TCG here in North America, which is BT5, or if I should start making them for alternative formats / future formats like the BT6 format that is technically on the horizon for us. Let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. And now that all of that exposition is out of the way, let's check out some of my matches from this past weekend's DC1 Grand Prix. Alright y'all, I have the first game queued up right here. It's against Rookie Rush, another deck that people love to hate, and one that for some reason a lot of Rookie Rush players, or like the common Digimon players, think has the advantage. Well, I'm here to tell you the matchup is a lot more closer than you think. If you properly utilize your early DP reduction effects like War Growlmon or Starmon as a LordKnightmon player and make some more obscure plays during the game, you might be surprised how quickly you can take control of a match. So hopefully, as we get started here, I can talk about how this goes. I believe this was the second round of the event, and this is the first game my opponent and I are playing. I'm only going to do one game from each of these matches, by the way, not the whole thing. If you do want to check out the whole thing, I'll leave links down below to the YouTube stream as well as the Twitch stream that I did from this past weekend. Be sure to check them out there. Here we see him go for a pretty standard play of a Rookie in the Raising and then a 2-drop to just set up his board for hopefully Spiral Masquerade or get the attack swinging. As you know, Rookie Rush is still a rush deck. I'm going to start my turn with a Cutemon, pretty standard again, just trying to like cycle through. Maybe I had a Starmon or something else, and this is big. I am starting my turn with TK. TK is huge in this matchup, not only being able to allow you to play at least 2 cards per turn, which can help you play around Spiral Masquerade a lot of the time, but guaranteeing you 3 means you can start your turn with War Growlmon, kill something, and then use like a Slash or some other DP reduction effect to kill another thing, thus forcing more cards out of your Rookie Rush opponent. TK is like the ultimate equalizer in this matchup, no matter what. He's just going to drop 2 more rookies on the board. Very, very scary. Big spirals coming through. Well, big spirals, right? I'm going to start my turn here, evolving into, I think, a Pitomon. Yes, a Pitomon. I do kind of remember this game a little bit beforehand, but this is really good. Maybe I can evolve into an ultimate, but I'm going to choose to hard play a Knightmon, killing one of his Digimon. I get rid of the Upa, so that way he has less chance to draw. Maybe I could have gotten rid of the Tsukaimon, so maybe later on my Starmons can kill something a bit easier. Not sure. Really kind of like variance play depending on your hand. But this is really good. Let me talk a bit more about why this Knightmon play is so good. I don't see enough LordKnightmon players just hard playing their Knightmons against Rookie Rush. Knightmon is 7,000, so he demands 3 rookies plus Spiral in order to kill, and because I also have Pitomon in play, that demands 2 more Spirals. Let's do a quick count here. My opponent has 4 cards in his hand. I think he's already chosen not to evolve here in the raising, so we know that he probably doesn't have at least 2 rookies plus a Spiral in his hand to get rid of my entire board, which even if he did, that's a huge investment. That can leave me with 4 memory, at least let me get a blocker into play and last 1 more turn, and then maybe go into like a War Growlmon plus slash play on the following turn for the crackback. So I'm really glad that I made this play. Not only does it demand a lot out of my opponent, but it sets me up really well for the future turns if he has nothing to deal with it right now. Going back to my opponent, yes, he does not choose to evolve in the raising area for his Upa. That's really big, forcing him to play with whatever his hand is, most likely. And let's see what he chooses to do. He just chooses to play the Spiral. And like I said, he can choose to kill the Pito or choose to kill the Knight, but he cannot kill both. And he kills the Knightmon. Ooh, this is, I smell a War Growlmon coming. I think I didn't have War Growlmon at this particular moment. Maybe I would have gone for it instead, but it's really nice. He just passes. Oh my gosh, his hand is just full of option cards. That's what that tells me, by the way. His hand is just full of option cards, maybe like a Spiral, a useless Needle Spray, or something like that. So I'm gonna play knowing that. So I'm maybe just not gonna play anything in the battle area. Oh, no. Oh, that's right, I remember this. Yeah, so I had double Starmon in my hand. You're gonna see me go for it here to get rid of the Auroromon so I can keep him off of Needle Spray value for the next turn. I didn't have a War Growlmon in my hand, otherwise I would have gone for that for sure, because it instantly plays around, what's it called, a Spiral, and can choke my opponent at 1 if I have a 1-drop in my hand. But this is nice too, because again, it forces him to have 4 dudes plus a Spiral in order to clear my entire board, and if I wanted to, I could just start doing the Rookie Rush game and poke him with Starmon every single turn. That doesn't sound like a bad idea right now either, but I think I did just see the Spiral in his hand, or no, I think it's, a Blinding Ray he plays later, I think. I remember he had like literally like just 3 option cards, and that can happen a lot with these newer Rookie Rush decks that aren't really Rush decks. I mean, you'll notice he's not attacking me ever because I have that Pitomon, but yeah, it's a Blinding Ray. He's gonna choose to use it here, maybe just to get him like 2 more dudes. Oh, no, now he's gonna start attacking. Yes, this is a thing I think more Rookie Rush players should start doing, is use your rookies, attack. Just constantly sitting there and giving your opponent all the turns in the world to set up their board to play around Spiral is like really weird. And here he's actually going to choose to trade with my Pito. If he followed that up with like a Spiral or something, maybe that could be good, but using 2 Spirals while I'm still at 5 security and have a dude in the raising is kind of yikes, man, let's be honest. And here, I think I'm going to choose just to build my board as big as I can, because those 2 Starmons, while it is tantalizing to swing with right now, I think it's better just to turn them into blockers, or Turies, or heck, even a War Growlmon. I cannot stress how important I think War Growlmon is in this matchup, but yeah, here we're seeing I'm going for the Uni, the Turi, maybe a Pito, maybe another Uni. Let's see. My guess is, yeah, it's a Pito. Yo, look at that board. Look at that beautiful board. 1 memory choke. TK putting in that work. Always love to see it. He's only at 4 security as well, so turning off his Upas was probably a big thing in my brain as well. There we're seeing him go for the Pulsemon, drawing him a card, helping him just, you know, net advantage while building his board. Very important. But only 2 cards in his hand. 2. I have probably like 6 or 7 or something. And here we go. Big boy War Growlmon is coming down. War Growlmon's also a super clutch attacker in this deck because he's bigger than everything in the Rookie Rush deck, so you never even need to turn it into a Mega to get value out of it. You can just start swinging. I have the Pikmon as well underneath him, so I can also kill the Starmons, get 2 bodies for the price of 1, and dealing a security after he already played a Pulsemon. Guys, this is crazy value. I think the big thing here is, like, I've been really careful about utilizing my early DP reduction effects as well as my early TK to net as much advantage over my opponent as possible and force out as many answers as possible from my opponent. Even though people think Rookie Rush can like draw its entire deck, that's really not true. They have actually a very limited amount of cards they can work with, and the more you get rid of their cards, the more you're going to demand out of them, and the more they're just going to end up losing. And if they can't kill you before you get rid of too much, they're just going to lose. Here I dropped my Kari. I think it was the only thing I had in my hand that I could play that wasn't just passing, and it does enable to, if he does start attacking, I can maybe, you know, fade 1 or 2 attacks if he like hard plays something first and then attacks, which is nice. It can like make him like commit to spiral before he actually attacks, stuff like that. And yeah, we just see him evolving into a Turimon here to cycle and get a bigger body in board. I think if he were to attack with that Turi, I probably would have taken the block, honestly. Or maybe I just like attack it with War Growlmon, not really sure. Depends on my hand, I guess, if I have like a second ultimate that I want to go into. But here we're just seeing him go for the Falcomon. He knows he's going to give me 3 no matter what, and maybe he's just debating between his 2 cards, which one is better to hard play, but he's just electing to pass, so that tells me maybe he has like 1 more yellow rookie, but he wants to save it so that way the next time he gets an egg, he can for sure draw. Or he just has, again, double option card that aren't really doing anything right now, and I think that's the line of play I go with when it comes to making my plays. Here, I would really love to see a second War Growlmon, I was just about to say, because it enables me to get rid of the Falco or the Aurora with my other War Growlmon, which is really good for turning off, like, Needle Spray, for example. And yep, there we go, just getting rid of the yellows. Usually you want to get rid of whatever they have the least of so that we can turn off those option cards or turn off those plays. And again, just playing that War Growlmon beatdown. Who needs Rookie Rush when you have Ultimate Rush, am I right? And I just, you know, capitalize even more with the Slash Angemon, getting rid of the Turimon. Gotta love to see it. Slash Angemon, still the best card ever created in Digimon, and it was created in set 1. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sure what my opponent can do. He just goes for the Lotmon just to see his security. He knows it's useless. He takes it, and then he scoops it up. Oh, baby. That game, honestly, was really good on my part, and not the best on my opponent's part. He actually dead drew a little bit. He had just a bunch of option cards, but I was able to make that read from the very beginning, and I knew that if I just build my board wide enough while doing my best to control his board at the same time, that he would have no way to maintain advantage, and I would get him to a state where every single turn he was losing more cards than I was playing, and at a certain point you can just run away with the game without even dropping a LordKnightmon. A lot of the time, though, in more like normal circumstances, once you get a LordKnightmon in play and start swinging with it, if you get like 2 swings with a LordKnightmon against a Rookie Rush player, there is no world they are able to control your board well enough to kill you. So it's always an interesting matchup in terms of like the clock, you know, how many turns are they gonna give you before you just pop off? It's totally possible that in this matchup, a really good strategy of play is just leave your LordKnightmon in the raising until you have Knightmon plus Valderarm in your hand. You get rid of like 3+ bodies in a single turn, and then it's impossible for them to control your board. So if they haven't been attacking you for those like 3 or 4 turns, you can just run away with a game. So the 2 big takeaway points here is to make sure that you utilize the turns that a yellow-green Rookie Rush player gives you to set up things like TK, War Growlmon, Starmons, hard-playing Knightmons, so you can control their board and buy yourself enough turns to set up like Slash plus Valder or LordKnightmon plus Valder and just walk away with advantage. And then on the yellow-green Rookie Rush side is pressure them. If you're not getting any value from your rookies from a control standpoint because they have stronger things than you do, just start attacking and swinging. And if you get value out of rookies because they're living security checks, that's how you're going to create your advantage, not by actually controlling their board. Too many people nowadays are playing Rookie Rush like a mid-range control deck, and they're not playing it enough like a Rookie Rush deck. Definitely attack them if you think you have no way to actually control their board, because at that point you're losing more advantage than you're actually gaining. Alright, here we are for the second and last game that I'm going to show you. It is against a security control player that I fought against round 4. Fun fact, this player is KVN, also known as one of the best security control players in the world right now. So I knew I was in for a bit of a challenge, but we did walk away with the win, but I do want to talk about how we did that, some of the key plays you can make as a LordKnightmon player when it comes to playing against this style of deck, and something generic that you kind of want to always focus on in this matchup. I'm not normally the best fan of like generic advice, like always do this, always do that, but against security control, there is one thing you always want to make sure you're doing, and hopefully I can point it out to you in this game. All right, let's go. I believe Kevin won the die roll, so yes, he is going first. He's revealing Cupimon and Sala. That is the yellow base variant of security control that attacks, gains advantage through Cupie and like Blade of the True to set up more powerful Eden's Javelins, and the main win condition of this deck is various Magnadramons as well as Balder Arms. So here we're seeing him choose the pass. Going first is not the best for security control because you don't really want to commit anything until your opponent commits stuff, so he's just going to pass, give me 3, I evolve into Bushy, and I think here I'm going to make the first interesting play and just choose to hard play something versus evolve. I could be wrong though. Yeah, you're going to see me debate a lot of stuff here because I know what I'm playing against. I know this is security control, and I'm just trying to figure out sort of the best way I can maintain board advantage despite his controlling cards, and yes, I will be going for a Unimon. I think I had a second champion that I was debating between, but my idea was if he gives me 4 memory with an Eden's Javelin, I can just hard play another thing and then just like kind of keep up board parity at that point. So let's see what he goes for, and yes, there is the Edens. He has exactly 6, I think, because he is going first and just drew for turn, so that's 6, enough to kill the Unimon. And I think here I'm definitely going to choose to promote this Bushy. There's no reason not to realistically, because there is no what's it called, Izzy in play from the Ultimate Flare or whatever, but here we're seeing a very important thing. I instantly attack with this Bushy, and the reason why you do this is not because, oh, security control, just rush them and get all the bad security cards checked now so you can kill them as soon as possible. No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm getting the first security check out of the way, because after I get him to 4, I am never attacking him again until I go for game. And the reason why you do this is to turn off the 11-drop Magnadramon that can let him recover 2 if he plays it at 3 or less security. But the reason why I do it now was if my board only has 1 dude and that card is like a Gaia Force or an Ultimate Flare or an Eden's Javelin, and getting that out now before I commit something else is really great. So I love this play by me. Gets it out of the way. I will probably never attack again unless he uses something like a Magnadramon or a Holy Wave to recover back to 5. That's when you always want to be attacking and get any value out of like on attack effects like LordKnightmon and such. You don't always want to wait until you have LordKnightmon, by the way, to do your first security check, because what if that first check is like a Zord Defeat or a Gaia Force? That's always a feels bad, man. Doing it now is just the least punishing situation for it to happen. Also, I probably had like nothing else better to do in my hand other than like hard playing something else, so it was like whatever. And yep, there we see me just hard playing a Tururi. Demanding removal answers out of your security control opponent is huge because it forces them to not commit something from their hand for turn, because everything in their deck is like at least, 4 cost or more. So unless they have 10 memory or 5 memory, I should say, they can't go play a dude and then remove your dude, which is really good. There we're seeing him attack with the Sala, not at 3 security, so he cannot recover. And there we're seeing him play a Chromon. Okay, lesson number 2, really important. The one generic thing you always do is if you see an ultimate or a mega yellow come down from your security control opponent, get rid of it as soon as possible. You cannot give them the ability to play a Valder Arm, because Valder Arm is one of the hardest things to out as a LordKnightmon player, and all the energy you spend getting rid of it, they're just going to gain advantage afterwards and then remove your dudes. So it's really, really important that you get rid of any ultimates / any megas you see as soon as possible. But here, it's going to be hard to do unless I have specifically /Andromon in my hand. But luckily, another thing you can do is, since it's an ultimate, I can just choke him at 1 and keep him off of the 2-drop Magnadramon that would give him a Valder Arm. So here I go for Pulsemon, just the cycle. There's no reason not to commit your rookie every single turn. That's a free body basically every single turn. Being able to get like 2 bodies every single turn can also help you play around removal. And here I just go for the Growl, choke at 1, yes. And if I have the slash in my hand, even if he goes for like a Magna 10-drop or a Magna, the 11k one that can recover on this Chromon, I can still get rid of it with my slash plus Growlmon. Very, very big. Also, I'm going to do something else, I think, on the next turn that you're definitely want to take note for. They were seeing a Bushy from him. He plays like a heavy rookie engine, so we can actually go for game really easy. And boom, there is the Magna. But I did not make this play, not expecting to kill something this turn. But if I don't have it, I am supposed to keep this Wargreymon in the raising area just to deny Valderarm value on 2 dudes versus just 1 dude. So if I don't immediately promote this Wargreymon, then you will know that I do not have it. So let's see what I choose to do here. And yes, I just go for the LordKnightmon. So sadly, I did not have the slash. Had I had the slash, it would have been the easiest thing for me to do, just to go boom, boom, get it out of here. But luckily, I'm staying in the raising. I'm denying him Valderarm value to kill 2 things, which might keep him off of playing it on this turn. And if I can do that, maybe I can go for a Knightmon plus slash if I draw it on the next turn, which would be sick. I don't want to have to push him to 3 security if I don't have to, but again, getting rid of that Magna is way more important than him recovering 2, I promise. Because, like, Valderarm is one of the few cards in the security control deck that can remove bodies and establish pressure. So definitely want to get rid of it whenever possible. And there we're seeing a TK. That is so huge. Normally it's not huge because I don't want to be like security control really isn't going to choke you, like, unless they can. But his Bushy Agumon lived, which means I can attack that, and instead of attacking his security and completely fade a security card that would be problematic. And I get to keep my LordKnightmon, so he's not going to swing with his Valderarm. That'd be very bad. So here's just going to Eden's Javelin my Teruri. That's fine. I don't really care about that too much. And I'm just going to draw for a turn, and if I have access to Slash plus LordKnightmon, this is going to be a crazy turn for us. Not only are we going to build our board, but we're also getting rid of his Magna, which is pretty crazy. But again, we know I didn't have Slash last turn, otherwise I would have gone for it. Do I have it this turn? If I do, I don't know what I'm thinking about, so I probably do not have it. But I do choose to promote the LordKnightmon, so maybe my new goal here is just to play around Valderarm. It's inevitable that it's coming down. Nothing much I can do about it, right? That's something you can choose to do. You know, playing two megas or 2 things that are bigger than 8,000 DP is one way to do it. This Lucimon's a really good call for that reason. Valderarm will not clear my board, so yeah, that might be my thought process here. Maybe I'm gonna try to go for like 2 more bodies. Sadly, this LordKnightmon is a bit not good in terms of stack, because I was not able to, what's it called? Digiburst with Wargreymon, but there we're seeing the hard play of the Piddo. So if he does go for Valder here, it would be able to kill my LordKnightmon, but I would get to keep my Lucy and my Piddo with 4 memory. I can get back up, and then it just becomes like a dealio of he gets to swing with 14 every single turn. But he has to have it in hand, and he hasn't been getting nearly as many draws as he would like. He's really just cycling with his raising area and with his Eden's Javelins, so I'm not really too worried, but sometimes they can have a much bigger hand at this point. But there we're seeing just the Chromon come down, so once again, I am safe, and I can actually set up for my own Valder play that gets rid of both of his Digimon. Even though Chromon is 8,000 DP instead of 7, I could go for like, what's it called? A reduction on 1, and then, what's it called again after that? I can go for like, slash on it and kill it that way. But there I'm seeing the Starmon to reduce, I believe I'm going to choose to reduce the Chromon so it becomes Valderable. And then I'm going to play a second Starmon just to get rid of it. So here I've chosen a weird series of plays, and this probably is like highlighting that I don't have Valderarm or Slash, because if I had Valderarm, going for the Starmons on the Crow and then swinging and then playing Knightmon, then playing Valderarm obviously would have cleared his board there. So again, I'm not having the outs that would be the most optimal in this situation, but I am making do. Getting rid of that Chromon, while yes, it doesn't really do anything too much right now, it does allow me to, if he goes for something like Valderarm, I get to have still a big amount of bodies on board that after that Valderarm comes into play, it properly won't deal with them. But sadly, 2 Starmons isn't really the best. But only having 3 memory, though, is because you can't go like Izzy and then play Ultimate Flare or something. And there we're seeing him go for the Magna, which is interesting because this basically gives me a free LordKnightmon swing unless that first card is Ultimate Flare, then we're sad. But I think I would go for it, though, just to get the free body. And let's see what I choose to go for here. And maybe my thought last turn was to not attack with LordKnightmon to keep him off of 3 security. That might have been a thing I thought about doing. just a hard play. But again, if I had access to Knightmon plus Valderarm, I 1000% would have gone for it. Magnadramon be damned. But let's see, I'm going to swing here for a butt ton. Pray for no for no Ultimate Flare here, obviously, because my board is full of weenies right now. But if I can go something like, what's it called? Knightmon plus Valder, or just play like 2 Knightmons, get rid of that Magna, that all sounds really cool, you know? Because I don't want to attack after this check, right? I want to just push him to 4, keep all these bodies in play, force him to go for like a Valder on his next turn or something if he wants to like keep me off of lethal. Some people would wonder, hey Steven, why not just attack here? You have 5 bodies, he has 4 security, that's game, right? No, random citizen, if he has a single card in that security that can 1-for-1 at least one of my other Digimon, he's not dying, and I open up him to a hard drop Magna to recover 2, and thus we have to start the whole process over again. It's never worth it to swing unless you have at least 2 more dudes than he has security. And even then, depending on what those dudes are, he could actually blow you out still with things like Ultimate Flare, or some lists play like, what's it called, like Supreme Cannon or whatever. But there we go. I'm just gonna hard drop a second Knightmon. Again, Valderarm be damned. It's the scariest card in the matchup, and I've been unable to get rid of that Magna this entire game. But he hasn't been able to draw Valderarm, so we're both kind of whiffing the big answers we need for this matchup, and so I'm just making some good plays here to set up for game as soon as I can. On the next turn, I'm swinging. No questions asked. I got 3, 6, 8 bodies. He has 4 security. Even if all 4 of those cards needs to be cards that fade my Digimon, otherwise he's gone. And if I can dodge him or have like a bushy on top of my current board, it's over. So here I am definitely going to swing. Normally I'm a bit more cautious. I'm probably deciding here like what's the worst case scenario, and I'm literally saying like the worst case scenario is like Ultimate Flare plus like Gaia Force. So I think I'm gonna like cycle something, and then the card I draw off of my cycle is I think gonna be Bushy, and then Bushy lets me fade that second card. So now he needs Ultimate Flare plus 2 more forms of removal, and that's the worst case scenario for me. So I'm gonna draw, I get the Bushy, I say out loud, oh, that changes everything. Like I'm doing all this out loud, by the way, because it's such a very, you know, like deciding when to attack against security control is a very important decision. I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna play Bushy, and lo and behold, the first check is Ultimate Flare. Like the thing I said that was the worst happened, and it happened at the worst time. He got rid of 4 dudes with 1, but as you will see, if we're all good at math here, I still have 5 attacks. So he needs to have 2 more in order to dodge lethal. And the second card was Ultimate Flare, but I've been hard playing my stuff, so they're all good. I swing with the Lucy, boom. I swing with the dude, and even if that's a card like Gaia Force or something, boom, it's not, and we swing with the Knightmon for a game. We even had the Pitto for some extra security on top of that. That is what you want to be doing against security control. You don't just want to be blindly attacking, being like, oh, LordKnightmon gets you a free dude, right? That's always really good. Who cares if they check Gaia Force? We're going net 1-for-1, and I'm gaining a dude. He's losing his security. That's really good. No, because if you push him below 3 without killing him, he's just gonna drop some kind of, you know, Salamon or Magnadramon turn and get all the way back up to like 3 or 4 and have more cards in there that can actually fade your swings. And then afterwards, he's gonna go for like a Valderarm, clear your board, and now you're a big sad panda. So right there, me and Kevin were both whiffing a lot of our most optimal outs, but I was given enough time to build up my board and go for a game before he was able to draw his, and technically before I was able to draw mine. But if you do play this matchup in the future, the thing you want to watch out for are the yellow Digimon, the level 5s and level 6s. If they commit one, get rid of it. It needs to not exist, because if you give them a route to Valderarm, they will take it and they will gain so much advantage over you and then just start poking you. And unless you kill them before they kill you, the game is over. And that's something that's really cool about the yellow base variant that Kevin is playing. It has rookies, it has cheaper things like Chromon and Magna at higher numbers that you can just hard play. And if your opponent doesn't deal with, you can turn them into removal spells or just start swinging with them and kill your opponent while you have all these free turns of them just like passing or trying to play more dudes than you have security cards. So While Security Control is definitely like a more difficult matchup to approach as a LordKnightmon player, I actually do think given certain hands you might have, it's a more favorable matchup, especially if you do draw like the broken combos of Knightmon plus Slash. Really, if you have access to that at least twice against any deck, you're probably winning no matter what. And boom, there you guys go. That is everything I had to say about this past weekend's DC1 Grand Prix, as well as how to play LordKnightmon against Rookie Rush and Security Control. If you guys have any lingering questions or want to give me your opinions on doing more BT5 content / BT6 content moving forward, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And of course, one last shout out to each and every one of you watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and got any value from it, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. And if you ever want to see me playing games like this live and in person and get my IRL thoughts after each round or my IRL baby rages after each round, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. Link is down below as always. I go live all the time and play tons of different games over there, so be sure to stop by and we can have some fun. But without further ado, I've been your true champion, Steven. Please be sure to work hard, rest easy, and live well. And I will see you all next time. Peace.